On today's ATV News, we'll tell you why Logan River Academy has been targeted by an international hacker group. The USU Spirit Squad still doesn't have a coach. We'll show you how they're making up for it. Snowy weather means slick roads. See what you'll need to stay safe during the winter.
Wet sidewalks today, but coming up in ATV weather, I'll let you know when you can make your outside plans.
It's hard not to win when one of your players outscores the whole other team combined. We'll show you the awesomeness coming up on ATV Sports.
All this and more on your ATV News. Welcome to this week's ATV News. I'm Victoria Hepworth.
And I'm Jenna Lynn.
A man is in McKay-D Hospital after being hit by a truck Monday afternoon. Witnesses say Tariq Fasi Zamin was walking in the crosswalk at 4th North and 2nd East when a white Ford truck turned left and hit him. Police say Maria Bravo was driving the truck and didn't see the man. Her truck knocked Zamin to the ground, causing a head injury. Police say the accident is still under investigation.
The international hacker group known as Anonymous has started a campaign right here in Logan. They want Logan River Academy, a boarding school for troubled teens, shut down because they say they're abusing their students.
Academy is a residential treatment center in Logan, Utah. It's not for criminals. Teenagers in the United States are being kidnapped, dragged from their beds in the dead of night, brainwashed, tortured, held in solitary confinement.
Anonymous has made against Logan River. Logan River has been a school for girls and boys ages 12 to 18 with emotional or behavioral issues for more than 13 years. And this is the first time complaints like this have come to the public. It started when this man launched a YouTube video where he explains the abusive ways he says the school treated himself and others. After that, Anonymous released their video and started a Twitter storm under #ShutLoganRiver. Co-owner of Logan River, Jeff Smith, has denied all allegations against the school, saying they are false, inaccurate, and misleading.
If you are one of the many people in Logan used to parking your car on the street overnight, you probably want to find a different spot from now through the end of February. Winter parking rules are now in effect, meaning you can't have your car parked on Logan streets between 1 a.m. and 6 a.m., or you will risk the chance of getting a ticket. This is so snowplows can clear the streets without causing damage to vehicles, but whether there's snow or not, police will ticket. Many people don't know this rule even exists.
I didn't know that you were not allowed to park in certain areas during the winter, that you get ticketed. Like, that's really stupid if they didn't tell me that I could get ticketed for it. The only things that I've noticed is the signs, you have to have a permit to park in certain areas, but I didn't know there was time limits during the year to park certain places overnight.
The city of Logan has posted the winter parking rules in a few places online, and residents with landlines get a call from the city. But for everyone else, Gonter says she thinks it would be a good idea for the city to put up signs explaining this rule for the residents who normally park on the street and don't know it's time to take their car off the road for the night.
Coming up after the break, a former vice president pays USU a visit.
And find out what the FDA is banning in your food.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. but I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Welcome back. As part of Utah State University's International Education Week, our campus hosted a special guest, the Dominican Republic's former vice president. As part of a joint program with Utah State, nearly 340 students from the Dominican Republic have studied subjects ranging from engineering to the arts. Last week, the former vice president of the country, Dr. Rafael Albuquerque, spoke on the current state of social and economic development in the Dominican Republic and trends for the future. That's why so many students from the Dominican Republic come to get a quality education here and then take their knowledge back to their home country.
The purpose of the speech today was to let people know the reality of the Dominican Republic, not just to our own students, but to other students at this university.
After his speech to the general public, Dr. Albuquerque addressed the Dominican students directly to see how they are coping with their experience here at USU.
Big Blue, cheerleaders, and dancers all make up the USU Spirit Squad. You can see them at the games, but what you might not notice is that they don't have a coach. We went to find out more about what they're doing to make up for it and how it's affecting their team. It's 6 in the morning, and these girls are dancing, dancing again, and still dancing some more to try to get their routine just right. 5, 6, 7. Linda Zimmerman is helping them until they can get a permanent coach.
She was the coach in previous years for about 22 years, and then so she knows a lot what she's doing, and so it's been really nice to have someone who knows the program and is able to help us until we get a new coach.
On their looking side.
The girls say they've had to help each other, and some say they've even grown as a team.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Some said it was even a blessing in disguise.
You know, it has been kind of hard, but I think we've all come together. Linda has been really good to us. I couldn't ask for anything better. And as a team, we really come together, and I think we've stepped it up. And I have grown closer to my team in these past few weeks than ever.
Being without a coach, the USU Spirit Squad has learned to take it one step at a time and learn to rely on one another. Can I come down now? Practicing for 3 hours is a long time, and they do it every morning, even without a permanent coach.
So this group is very, very talented, that they could probably do it without a coach.
They say they do it because they love it. The job for a new coach has been posted, and the cheerleaders are expecting someone to fill the position at the start of January. But for now, they are happy that Linda is volunteering to coach them for a while. You can see them perform at both of Saturday's games.
The FDA's recent ban could make some of your favorite foods taste different, or even get them pulled off the shelves. Our Marie Titza shows us what ingredient could be increasing your risk of heart disease.
Some of your favorite snacks might not make it to the holidays. The FDA's ban on trans fats in foods like pizza rolls, microwave dinners, and ice cream could be gone.
Trans fats are partially hydrogenated vegetable oils. So it's a process where they take a liquid oil, say like soybean oil or something like that, and they put it through this process and they make it kind of a semi-solid.
And those semi-solids increase the taste and shelf life of food.
Just because it says what you're cooking has 0 grams of trans fat doesn't mean you shouldn't check your nutritional facts.
Here it says there are 0 grams of trans fat. However, in the ingredients, it says that there's also partially hydrogenated soybean oil, aka trans fats.
I'm not that surprised. I feel like you have to take responsibility and be conscious of what is in your food, because besides trans fats, there's so many other things too that you need to be aware of.
Consuming trans fat raises your risk of heart disease, and heart disease is one of the leading causes of death among men and women, adult men and women in the U.S.
The FDA says, along with an active and healthy diet, cutting trans fats can prevent 20,000 heart attacks every year. Marie Tietze, ATV News.
The effort to ban trans fats has taken 3 decades, and the FDA says they didn't expect it to be a quick process. Coming up next, we'll show you how the snow over the weekend affected drivers.
And Aaron Griffiths has your Cache Valley weather report.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one...
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
We had our first winter storm of the season here in Cache Valley. You'd think that it was the first time driving in a winter storm for some drivers.
Well, maybe it was. ATV's Lee Kubik shows what serves as the annual reminder of how to drive in the snow.
Highway Patrol says that the first storm of the season makes them busy.
Every year it seems to, especially the very first storm of the year, that everybody forgets their winter driving skills.
Troopers say that there were some injury crashes and a rollover, but most of the accidents that happened over the weekend were slide-offs.
They're just getting stuck, or they spin out of control and traffic gets backed up and stopped, and then they can't get started again.
What made driving conditions really rough was that in Logan it was just raining like it is now, which made the ground wet. But once they got to the canyon, they hit that harsh snow, which made the ground even more slick.
The snow is the problem. It's almost impossible to get any good traction.
Utah law requires snow tires starting in October, and some Utah drivers got them just in time.
I recently got some good snow tires, and I'm really glad that I did, because otherwise I'd be one of the ones that slid off.
The snow wasn't bad news for everyone, however.
The first storms is wonderful, the moneymakers.
While tow drivers are happy they made some money, this storm really made them work for it. Lee Kubik, ATV News.
UHP is encouraging drivers to slow down and be careful when driving in winter conditions.
Well, we've got Aaron here in studio to tell us about the weather.
That's right. You know, it's that snowstorm that came last week. I mean, that was definitely pretty crazy. I haven't got my snow tires on yet. I don't know about you guys.
No. Well, I don't have a car, so
See,
fortunately I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, you're better off than any of us. Well, if you haven't got them and you have the ability, probably a good time to think about getting those on. We might have some things coming on in the next little bit. So
really?
Let's go ahead and take a look at our current temperatures. All right, as you can see here, we've got 49 degrees here in Logan today. We've had a little bit of rain. It's come and gone. As we look down here, Ogden, 50 degrees right now, 54 in Salt Lake, 45 in Provo, 45 in Price, and as we go out to Vernal, 46 degrees. So not too cold. It's been colder, but it's going to get colder as it goes on. Let's take a look now at our national radar. As you can see over here on the west coast right now, we've got a low pressure down here in California. What that's causing is a lot of precipitation right here in Utah and the Wasatch Front. So take a closer look here, closer to home. There we go. We can see there's a little bit, some storms floating around Logan right here. Those will continue through tomorrow, and then we should clear out for the rest of the week. So let's go ahead and take a look at our 7-day forecast. Looking at today, like I said, 49 degrees today on Wednesday, low of 32 tonight. Thursday, chance of snow, only warming up to 36 degrees tomorrow, so it's going to be cold. Low of 14 tomorrow, 41 degrees on Friday. The sun starts coming out, and then Saturday through the rest of the week, all the way till Tuesday, we should be pretty good, pretty sunny. So not full into winter yet. We're getting another taste of it, but we should be having it come around the corner here pretty quick, guys. So better be prepared.
Well, I guess
right.
it's that time, you know.
Yep, it comes every year.
You can only expect it. What can we expect for the game? On Saturday, wasn't it warm?
Warm-ish. It's not going to be any rain or snow, but probably chilly.
Yeah, that's all right. It's Logan football.
That's good. I think it's good football.
Yeah, you have to expect that.
We should be okay.
Right. Yeah. All right, coming up in sports.
USU hockey took to the ice this weekend. I'll show you how they annihilated an in-state rival. Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving. If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Thanks for calling the GED Pep Talk Center. Jerry Siller speaking. Your level 7 in-your-face pep talk.
I can keep pushing. Believe me, I'm good at it.
Once you've got your GED diploma, you'll feel so good about yourself.
You tell them.
Mr. Trejo, can I transfer this guy to you? He needs something a little more
persuasive.
Yes.
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into ATV Sports. I'm Jason Borba, and I'll be bringing you all the highlights you may have missed over the weekend. Let's tip things off on the hardwood, where Utah State women's basketball team has been on a tear. On Wednesday night, the Aggies looked to avenge last season's 98-81 loss to Loyola Marymount when they took on the Lions at the Spectrum. The first half quickly became the Crystal Turner show as a senior came off the bench to score 11 points in the half. She knocked down 3 straight threes to blow the game open for the Aggies 22-11. USU finished the half strong, taking a 24-point lead into the break. In the second half, it was more Utah State. Here, Elise Nelson finds McKinley Williams with a beautiful behind-the-back pass for the deuce. The Aggies reached the century mark for the second consecutive game with this mid-range jumper by Shelby Collinger as USU rolls to a 100-58 victory.
That was a lot of fun. I just happened to shoot the ball pretty well today. I mean, I can't take all the credit. My teammates were getting the ball to me, so it was definitely a team effort, and just everyone played great.
The Aggies were back in action Tuesday as they hosted in-state rival Utah. The Utes got off to a quick start, going up 7-2 after this three by Shanae Wilson. The Aggies would respond with this drive by Ingrida Strikas, sorry about that, but still trail the Utes 37-32 at halftime. In the second half, Jennifer Schlott wrote her own story and took over the game. With this full court drive, Schlott would give the Aggies the lead that they would not give up for the rest of the game. Schlott would make this pull-up jumper coming up right about now to give herself 37 points. The rest of the Utah State team combined for 40. Utah State defeated Utah 77-61. The Aggies put their perfect season on the line Friday night when they host the Bengals of Idaho State. Let's stay on the hardwood, where USU volleyball team is 7-2 in the friendly confines of the Spectrum. The Aggies look to maintain their home cooking Thursday when the San Jose rolled into Logan. USU won the first set 25-18, and the second set, it was all Ellie Brainerd. Here, she smashes this shot at her opponent and then follows that up with yet another kill. Tamuet Tamani finishes off the set with this vicious spike as USU wins 25-16. The third set wasn't much different as the Aggies cruised to a 25-19 victory and a sweep of the Spartans.
My teammates helped me out. They established the middle early in the game, and that really helps me because then the block gets confused on the other side, and then I have a lot of holes to hit, so it makes it pretty easy for me. And when Paige is dishing out nectar, it's easy for me to just go and get some kills. So just all my teammates.
The Aggies return to the Spectrum Saturday to take on the Fresno State Bulldogs. USU jumped to a quick 8-0 lead following this kill by Ellie Brainerd. They would then cruise to a victory in the first set, winning it 25-16 after the Bulldogs couldn't return this serve by Erica Moscoso. The Aggies didn't slow down as they got points from this block by Alyssa Everett and the push shot by Paige Neves. And then this ace by Ashlyn Rogers-Court. The Aggies would go on to win the match 3-0, getting revenge for the loss of the Bulldogs in Fresno earlier in the season. The Aggies are on the road this weekend as they take on UNLV on Thursday and then San Diego State on Saturday. They will return home next week for their final 2 games of the regular season. Moving on to Utah State Club Hockey. USU faced in-state rival BYU at the Eccles Ice Center on Friday. The Aggies were 2-0 coming into the game against the Cougars. The Aggies were presented with some special military appreciation jerseys on Thursday and wore them on the ice in front of a capacity crowd. USU got on the board first with this goal by forward Sam Goings, and forward Chris Vedetto put this one in only seconds later. BYU responds with this goal by Wade Smallwood, but that was all she wrote for the Cougars. The Aggies would score one and another and another. And just one more for the fun of it. USU rolls BYU 14-1. 2 players scored hat tricks.
I was really impressed with the boys. They didn't get, sloppy. They didn't get satisfied. They just kept their intensity up. And I was just happy the way they all worked out there. Every shift, they gave 100%.
The Aggies take part in a 3-day tournament right here in Logan starting Thursday at 7 p.m. against Northern Arizona. All right, something fun also on Saturday, the men's basketball team, they also won. They beat UC Santa Barbara 71-64, and they are 3-0 for the first time since 2008.
That's pretty impressive. I'm excited for Saturday's game.
Yeah, it should be a good one
Looking
against
forward
Mississippi
to
State.
it.
Should be good.
Thanks, Jason. Coming up, find out what Cache Valley's population growth is doing to wild animals.
And we'll show you how USU does No Shave November.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Aww. You should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork, loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Thanks for staying with us. As Cache Valley expands, people and wildlife are fighting for the same space. ATV's Brianna Bodley shows us the struggle between nature and city.
This deer is just one of many who ended up on the side of the road. Officer Corey Wallace drives around town picking up these casualties. Although deer have been wandering into roadways for years, she says the problem has become worse as Cache Valley cities grow and use more space. Fences like this one were put up to keep the wildlife out, but Wallace says they don't always work.
Get people up here that cut the fence. The deer can get through and sadly sometimes get caught up in and then have to be put down.
Some get down into city streets and backyards where Wallace has to take care of them. Still, she says it's the homeowners who get upset.
Wildlife management is definitely social management. You have people who absolutely love the deer and don't want them put down. You have people who absolutely hate the deer and do want them put down.
Wallace said one way they're trying to address this problem is by setting up clover traps. The deer walk in here, trigger this string, and then they can be relocated.
At least this way they have a chance to make it somewhere rather than just being put down.
But relocation may not be a mule deer's best option.
You get what's called capture myopathy, where they stress out so much from the whole ordeal that they end up not making it anyway.
And the deer bring a bigger problem for the city.
Cougars.
Krebs says the encroaching city has left the cougars little choice.
It's an area where they feel protected, I guess. And we're getting so many of them in the valley, there's just nowhere else for them to go.
Wallace says the departments are trying to find solutions, but for now, fences aren't keeping much out. Brianna Bodley, ATV News.
Wallace says she's not worried about the cougars now, but if they continue to increase, the valley will have a problem.
Well, it's No Shave November again, which means people are getting more hairy. Brandon Fonda is live on campus to give us the reason behind the lack of razors. Brandon?
That's right, Jenna. No Shave November is in full swing right now, and as the days go by, the beards get longer. Except for mine. Not really. The beard, the mustache, or just the scruff. All types of facial hair seen during the month of No Shave November.
Kind of is a month when all guys can unite, grow their hair out at the same time.
I'm trying to prove a point. It's more of a principle than anything. I'm growing it for No Shave November.
And as the beards grow, so does the manlyhood.
It's also a good way to separate the men from the boys.
For some, a chance to prove themselves.
Well, I'm on the football team, so everybody has a beard, so if I don't grow one, I look young.
Others,
I feel more mature.
A chance to get in touch with their more masculine side.
Yeah, I think it brings out the best qualities in me.
There are techniques to growing a beautiful beard.
I literally do nothing, and it just grows.
For others,
this will do.
It takes a little bit more work for their beard building.
Just a little bit like that, and then get the stash a little bit. Ready to go.
And though the individual reasons and ways to grow facial hair might differ, most agree on one thing.
I think it unites men into a common brotherhood of bearded.
Well, as you can see, my significant snuggler doesn't like the facial hair. But are my buddies' beards helping them or hurting them this month?
I don't like it very much. They don't manage it, so it gets all like gross and just does not look good.
It doesn't feel good either.
Because it's scratchy.
Okay, I won't push any further.
When you're getting some, how's that? It like starts to tickle your lip and then it like starts to scratch it, and so you're like.
Others disagree.
It is my favorite month of the year.
Yeah, it definitely makes them look more masculine, because sometimes if they don't have facial hair, they have more of a baby face.
You especially won't find this one with a baby face. She has a list of facial hair favorites on her phone.
Boxed beard, and the chops, and any kind of mustaches are good. Right here.
Now, I did some research and found this out. Pagonophile, one who loves or admires beards, a student of beards. Kelly Farr is probably one of these people. Back to you, Jenna.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks for joining us this week, Cache Valley.
Be sure to tune in next week on Tuesday before you head off on your Thanksgiving break. Have a good day.